I'm Sleepy, and this is Empyrion Galactic Experimental. Today we're going to test some generator efficiencies compared with fuel usage. Notice over here I have 3 of the exact same CVs spawned in, which I just did this test and went to review the video, and some genius didn't have his audio turned on. So we're going to do it again, so we can actually talk about this. We're going to spawn in the exact same CV, Sunlift, just because it's very easy to move stuff around. And we're going to spawn in, this time we're going to spawn 4 of them in though, because there's another test I thought of I want to try. So, blueprints, spawn, that can be number 2. Should have been so far back. That can be number 3. That rock's going to get in my way. The rock out of the way, and that could be number 4. Start off over here, and this is actually going to be 1, and we'll work our way back. What we're going to do is we're going to change the generator configuration on each one. They should start off with default fuel, whatever the default fuel is. And this one's going to be our default test case, but we are going to take that out so they all are the exact same tonnage except for the generators that we add. Because each one of these we're going to actually take the generators out. On this one, we'll take this generator out. And we'll go into our H key. We'll look at generators. And we're using T1s as default. So what I want is to grab, let's grab a few T2s. We have T2s. Let's go back to our T1s. Let's grab a few more of them. In this one, we're going to set a T2 in here. Single T2. Let's just plop her down. Let's go to our next CV. And just to keep everything equal, shouldn't matter, we're going to add multiple T1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is enough. On this one, let's actually take you out. Let's get insane and put in a crazy amount of energy. I can put the roof here even. Put it there. Alright. Got our 3 test CVs. They should be filled with the exact same fuel. I think it spawns them in now with 100% of fuel in experimental, so we should all be full. Go back here to our test case. And the check is, we want to see how much time we have with each configuration. Does changing the generation configuration increase our fuel amount of time, which should tell us whether our efficiency is increased. Even though the generator efficiency will be increased, I want to know about time. So the first thing we want to check is our tonnage here. Alright, this thing is 1.91 kilotons on test case 1. We're at 1.91 kilotons. Alright, what we want to do is hop in here. Want to press Y and get our power on. Take her up to a hover so she's using power. Power left. We have 60 minutes of power. Even though our power usage is at 12%, we have 60. So let's go 60 minutes of flight time. 12% usage. know where we are there. Let's X out of here. Get out of our little seat. Now the 12% tells us what percentage of our generator we're actually using. Let's go to test case 2. Alright, same exact scenario. What's your tonnage? We're looking at 1.99 kilotons. Alright. Let's hop into you. Turn you on. Take you up to a cover. Press P. 60 minutes. And we're running an efficiency of power usage of 1% of our power. But our power left is basically the exact same. Doesn't matter that we've added more kilotons. That's fascinating. Oh shoot. I was supposed to leave that running. Doesn't matter because I can't start them all four at the exact same time and watch them, so I just pressed the wrong button. Stay running and stay hovering. The other one will probably fall before I get back to it anyway. Goodness, it's hard to get in out here with this generator in the way. Alright, test case 3 with the multiple T1s. We're running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 T1s. Same scenario. Press P. What are we running at? Tonnage. We're looking at a 2.15 kilotons. 5. Same exact scenario. Let's hop in. Let's press Y. Let's take her up to cover. Let's take a look, and our power left is still 60. That is amazing. Power usage is at 1%. Let's X out of here. Let's get out of the seat. Let's go look at the big boy. The one we know we've added a ton of weight to. This thing should be heavy, heavy. Alright, what is our kilotonnage? 2.23 kilotons. So we went from 1.91 kilotons, 1.99 kilotons, 2.15 kilotons, 2.23 kilotons. So basically we've added from the beginning 0.32 kilotons from the first CV. Press Y. Oh, get into the chair. Take her up to a hover. Press P. 60 minutes of power left. So that's freaking silly. Still running a... What percentage of efficiency are we running? Power usage 0%. That's because we can produce so much. Look, our max output is 1,500 megawatts. Our max consumption is only 43 megabytes. But the thing is if this were increasing our number, so like that went from 60 to even, say, 70, I would say, okay, we're saving fuel by using the bigger generators. It doesn't seem like it makes a difference at this point in the game. Now, remember, this is experimental. That can change at any point in time. Here, let's X out of here. Let's F out of our seat, and let's just go. Now, the true way to conduct this test would be have 4 people and have them crank up each one of these 4 CDs on a 3, 2, 1 countdown. Let them run for 10 minutes and see how the numbers, if the numbers change. But I can't fly 4 CVs at the same time. Oh, there's a 4th one over here. No, there's a 4th one over here. That's the other ones I was using. That's the first video CVs that didn't have no audio. It was a normal sleepy one where there was nobody speaking. Alright, let's get into here. Let's press P. Right now you're sitting on 54. That's our power left, 54 minutes. And this one should be longer because it was cranked up second. It should be 55, 56, somewhere in that ballpark. I don't know. I didn't do this test in the previous one. 55. This is with the big one single big generator. Let's go over here and look at this one. $56, just as it should be. This will be the last one. This will be 57 or 58, I would guess. 57. Right down the line. That is interesting. That is very interesting. So the question was, would be using a bigger generator make you use less fuel? I don't see that happen, even though your percentage of energy use, which should actually be smaller because you're producing just so much more energy, but that doesn't equate to fuel savings. So that's my conclusions from this simple, very unscientific test. I'll post this. I'll welcome feedback. Tell me what y'all think. Tell me if there's something I'm doing wrong, if there's something I'm missing, which wouldn't surprise the daylights out of me. I wish I could stop this and actually let these run for a little while longer. And I probably will after I end this video. What I'll do is I'm going to let these run for a bit while longer and see if anything changes, if they get more than, like I said, a minute to a minute and a half apart in their amount of time left of fuel. And that'll be a little better indicator. Like I said, this is very unscientific, but this is all I can do. This is best I can think of how to do it. Just a single guy sitting here playing with 4 CVs. The best thing would be to crank them all up at the exact same time and have them go into a hover at the exact same time, so you know that you're using the exact same amount of fuel. I can't do that. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what your conclusions are. The really surprising part is the difference in kilotons, how it's not using, even though it's creating more energy, how it's not using fuel faster because it's lifting greater kilotons. My next question is going to be is, at what point do kilotons make a difference in fuel usage? Or is it just actual devices that make the difference in fuel usage? In other words, could I put 100 kilotons on that one to the right and it would never use any more power than the one on the left? That would be an interesting discussion and research. But thank you very much. This is Sleepy, and this is the Friday test. Peace, be safe. I hope everyone's doing well, and have fun.